I don't know. It depends on what your rates are.
I do come cheap. All
That's
right.
very, that's very. All right. Let's see if Facebook is showing that we are live. Yeah, I think we are actually live.
We are actually live.
It says that we've been live for a little bit of time,
Excellent.
and I'm gonna post under the because we're on Zoom, we can't just go live through Facebook. So the event that I created, I have to now post on this thing
Sure.
that we're live through Zoom on Facebook.
Yeah.
We are live via Zoom on TMFA.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
there we go.
I'm going to go over here then on TMFA and make sure, and everyone who's watching this is finding this riveting, I'll bet. There's all this setup stuff
Uh-huh.
that we're doing. I mean, it's probably one of the more exciting things anyone has ever seen. Um, am I on? Hopefully, we're still live. Yeah, no, we're still live. We're there. So,
Excellent.
hi everybody. Hi, TMFA. It is Technique Tuesday, and as always, it is I, Dialect Coach Chris Lang, coming to you with accent support, accent training, anything like that. But you will notice, my friends, something is different. There is another face alongside mine, a handsome, rugged, kind, generous, well-meaning face. He's looking around, but I am talking about him. Everyone, this is my good friend Dan Clifton from Union Management in the UK, and I've asked Dan to come on to TMFA's Technique Tuesday with me this week to talk about a few things. We've got a lot to cover, but as always, I can see everybody. I'm looking on my other screen over here. I can see who's watching, or at least how many of you are watching. But as always, I want you guys to ask questions. So
Yes.
please do interrupt me, interrupt Dan, post your questions, and please let us know that you are watching. If you're here, say hi.
Say
We
hello.
could just be sitting here and he and I, we could talk. We do. Like, we could just talk and have an hour long conversation by ourselves. But really, this training is only useful for you if it addresses your actual situation, your actual setup, talent, struggles, challenges, things of that nature. So we want to be able to address those things for you. So to that end, tell us that you're here. Say hello. We want to know who's here, who's watching. I've got my eye on the comments. I think Dan is probably looking as well somewhere. And then, or is he? Is he down? Oh, no, he's.
I just rely on you, Chris. But
he's just browsing Twitter for other better things to
fine.
do.
But no, do say
But
hello. And, we don't bite.
well, at least
Unless,
not
unless you want us to. Yeah, well, that's fine.
yeah,
You know.
not this way. So please do say hello, everybody. If any questions you have about accents, accent training, accents and acting, accents and your acting teachers, accent auditions, anything accent related, I'm here. But Dan's here as well. So any questions you have for an agent, please, Dan is here to help as well. So if you want to know, how to reach out to an agent, what's the best way to maintain relationships with your agent, if you want to know if Dan is accepting submissions, I don't know, perhaps. If you want to know about casting, the industry getting back together after COVID,
Mhm.
any of these things agency related, Dan is here. And we want to talk about our partnership together in terms of how we work so that you guys know how your agent and dialect coach can be on the same team and these kinds of things. And as I cough and die, just a touch of the Rona. No, it's not. It's my wonderful asthma. It's fantastic these days. We want to be here to answer your questions, so please do hop on and say hello. So far, I see Vikens Moskova is here. Vikens, hello.
Hello,
Nice to see you,
Dickens.
Vikens. I don't recognize you from my previous Facebook Live, so I hope that you're new and brand new here, and welcome to the party. But like I said, everybody else, please say hi. I'm looking at a bunch of people watching this video, and nobody else is saying hi. What's going on? Like I said last time, this is good training for you. Get in the habit of raising your hand and saying, I am here.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
Anytime you get an opportunity in any acting class, in any workshop, in anything where a director or a teacher says, can we have somebody who does this? And you do that, you say, yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to work. This is building that habit here in Facebook Live. I want you guys to do this. So please make sure that you take that seriously. Give yourself the gift of building that wonderful habit for your career. All right, that's all I'll say on that, but please do say hello. Put your questions in the Facebook Live. And we got one. Chantel Rances here says hello. Hi, Chantel. Welcome.
Hey, Chantel.
Party. Welcome to the party, everybody. All right, well, let's see here. What should we talk about first? Ooh, Dan, we have some stuff to tantalize them and tantalize their imaginations about what's coming up next.
Yeah.
Is there not something that goes by the name of the Online Actors Retreat?
Oh, yes.
What is this? I've heard rumors. The scuttlebutt has been huge throughout the industry in Hollywood and New York and in London. Paris and Milan, I believe, are blowing up with the news as well. What's going on here?
So we are behind the Online Actors Retreat. We are connecting actors around the world with industry professionals who are based in the US. So dialect coaches, agents, managers, casting directors, producers, showrunners, real like working actors, etc., etc. And we did it for the first time in October, which you took part in. And we're doing it again next week, starting from the 23rd to the 28th of February. We are doing it. Some of the sessions are sold out. Most still have tickets available. So just go online, onlineactorsretreat.co.uk.
Onlineactorsretreat.co.uk. All right. I just put that in the comments for everybody so you can see it.
And then basically you can see what's left, you can see what's there. And it's such, in this time, the reason we're doing it is because we are connecting actors. This is an industry based on relationships. So if you can make a relationship with a casting director, now he or she may not offer you something there and then, but they know you from a session. You just stay in touch with that person. The same thing for dialect coaches, right? So the same thing for yourself, Chris. The same thing for agents, for managers. They may not sign you right there and then, or they might do, but actually just stay in touch. That's the whole point. You would get no other opportunity to meet, the cast director for Homeland, for example. We have her, Kimberly Graham. We have Bonnie Gillespie, self-management for actors. She's Emmy honored. We have tons of really cool people.
Fantastic. So who is right in terms of like what level of their acting career should people here on TMFA go, this will be useful to me? Is it just for like people just trying to get in, beginners, intermediates, working actors? Who's best suited for the online actors?
It's kind of anyone that wants to meet agents, managers, and casting directors and other industry professionals, simply because actually it doesn't necessarily matter on your level. And of course, in a lot of the sessions, there will be scene studies, there will be self-tapes being done. So a lot of the casting directors and the managers, it's like a self-tape thing. You have to put a self-tape in and then they review it and then you do it again in class. But actually it doesn't really matter if you're starting out or if you've been in the industry for 20 years.
Because at the end of the day, your job is the same, whether you're starting out or if you've been in the industry for 20 years.
Right, exactly. There is no comparison. Yeah.
Stay in training, build good relationships, keep yourself working and engaged and ready to rock and roll in this business. When somebody says, who's ready to go? You want that to be you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You desperately want that to be you.
And that's the thing. Like if you read, for example, Bonnie Gillespie's book, she talks exactly the same thing. You just got to build the relationship, and it might take 6 months or it might take a year, but actually it started when you actually met this person, had a session with this person, and then just going, wow, fantastic. And that's all it is. That's all it is. And this came off the back of COVID. It came off the back of actually artists being in their own houses and just kind of going, you know what, how can we connect? Mm-hmm. How can we make the world a little bit smaller? Mm-hmm. So it's giving yourself the permission to do that. Otherwise, you wouldn't normally meet these people. So yeah.
Yeah, and some of you out there, because TMFA is a global community. Yes. And some of you, Dan is based in the UK, in London there, and some of you may be going, oh, that's great, I can get in on this market, it's close to me. And some of you may go, well, I live in Los Angeles or
Right.
Albuquerque or Wahoo, Nebraska, or wherever it is, right? You say that this is far away from me. These people, I feel separate from that event. Maybe it's not for me. I would encourage you, don't think like that. This
Yes.
business is global, and Zoom and all these other technologies have made everything so much easier for us to connect with one another. The fact that you can take an acting class from LA in New York at a studio that you would have had to fly to, all right,
Hmm.
and spend a month, living there in New York, you can now do that online.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So don't think that this isn't for you if you're not, for instance, in the European or UK market. If you're in the American market, this is still a wonderful opportunity for you.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And we have an attorney come in who specializes in O1 visas for non-US citizens, so for actors that want to work and work as an actor in the US, of course. But also we have casting directors and agents and managers that are actively looking for US based talent as well. And
Mm.
this is so yeah.
So Dan,
So
talk a little bit about that because I think everybody here who's America based, states based, is going to go, "What? Really? I can
yes,
I can have an agent
absolutely.
and work in the UK? Tell me more. What's that like?"
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. So you can meet the casting directors on the retreat, and meet the agents. We have our PM agency, we have Gorgeous Media Group, we also have Radical Actors Agency as well, and all three of them are actively looking for US and UK based talent right now.
So what's it like having representation then on either side of the pond?
um it's it's good. I mean, we work in both markets. We work mainly on the West Coast market and also obviously the British market as well. And um, there's a lot of stuff in the UK that's being made now. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been shut, or it was shut down last year, but now things are happening. Big productions are being filmed in
Well, like
London.
HBO films over there all the time.
HBO films over here all the time. You've got the Batman movie, you've got the Mission Impossible movie, you've got big productions, Jurassic World. We had one of our partners in Jurassic World, one of our partners in the Batman. Um, Big shows like Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who. So things are happening, and as long as people have the production has like a COVID inspector type person there, then it's fine.
So now you've
Yeah,
brought up something really interesting. So, obviously here in the States, we have our COVID restrictions. Largely,
yeah,
COVID protocol is governed by the unions agreements and things of that nature, and how we have to sort of have bubbles and all of that. What should actors expect in terms of COVID prep whilst being asked, for instance, to travel to the UK if they book something with an agent or casting there? And what would it be like for them then to work on a set in the UK under COVID conditions?
So we've just actually, it's a very timely question, Chris. Today we had one of our partners booked on a commercial, and and she's filming the day after tomorrow. Today she had a PCR COVID test, so you have to have it 2 days prior to your filming, and then again on your shoot day as well.
Mhm.
But if you shoot abroad, we had one of our partners on the Netflix show Shadow and Bone. He was shooting in Budapest, and so he had to have a series of COVID tests all the way throughout every fourth day, I think it was.
Okay.
But if you come to the UK currently, what I believe this is true, you can't enter the UK if unless you have a negative test, unless you actually have documentation that say I've had a negative test.
So before leaving, you'll have to get a negative
Yep,
test, bring those
yep,
results with you, and then
yeah.
encase yourself in hazmat suit on the plane and get there, and then and show that. And now, what are the quarantine rules once you come in?
10 days.
10 days.
10
Okay.
days. Yeah.
And
Quarantine.
production is likely to, if they're bringing you in, they're likely to put you up in a
Yeah, they'll
hotel
pay for it. Yeah, absolutely. And
and
yeah,
lock the door and not let you out.
yeah, they'll pay for your room service, everything. Yeah, it's all. So
Fantastic. So stuff is happening, right?
It's happening and it's busy. It's, as an agency, I feel, touch wood, I feel very fortunate. Myself and my business partner, we run an agency that's very, very popular. It's very, it's a very busy time, and it has been busy since July, really, even through January. So I feel very grateful. I feel very fortunate to be able to do that, and actually have a wonderful group of partners whom I work with. We've been signing people. We're taking on someone new at the agency as well over the next few weeks as well. So
Oh, that's fantastic. A new
yeah, and
agent?
a new agent, yeah, and we're
Fantastic.
just kind of expanding. We're just kind of expanding a bit, and actually, helping actors with, for example, their self tapes, helping actors with their kind of blocks that come up, not just our own partners, but actors that aren't signed with us, because it's all part and parcel of the industry, because we're all in the same boat.
Oh, very much so, very much. And I'm really thrilled to hear that so many. And by the way, when he says partners, those are the actors that
Yeah,
are with his agency, and that's the mindset, by the way, that you get at Union Management,
thank
because
you.
it's a partnership together, right? We are collectively all working on this stuff together. So
Yeah.
it's I think it's a great mindset to have. And the fact that so many of Dan's partners are in fact auditioning all the time, and there are auditions, and that
Mhm.
they're booking, and that they're out there working, says to me something, my friends.
Yeah.
Says to me that things are still happening.
Yeah.
All right. Even in the midst of a global pandemic, things are still happening. It's a little bit different, I think, here in the States or the UK, just because circumstances are a little bit different. You guys are in the midst of a nationwide lockdown, the third one, I believe, if I'm
Hmm.
not mistaken, right? And here it's a state by state, city by city kind of thing about
Right.
what's open and what's not. So it may feel a little bit different, but ultimately, my friends, the business is coming back.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you to raise your hands. Who's ready? Right? Yeah, both hands. So, if you didn't raise both your hands, my friends out there on TMFA, check in with why.
Mm.
All right? It's been a long slog. I get it. So, we may feel some exhaustion or tiredness or, weariness about the whole thing. But just know this too shall pass. We are almost to the end of this thing. This time next year, we're going to be looking back going, wow, I can't believe that was, do you guys remember this time last year? We were all
Yeah,
behind
totally.
masks and, nobody could go anywhere. And, the vaccines were, just coming out. Like, we're going to have all of these feelings here. And the time to be ready to go is before the guy clicks the starting pistol and sends us off from the starting
Yeah,
line. All right?
100%.
You have to be ready before that.
And this is it, Chris. You raise a very good point, because actually, in a year's time, people are going to want to make sense of this time of lockdown, this time of these all these horrific deaths, this time of all these things that are going on now. So if you have a story, if you have a film or a short or a monologue or whatever it is, make it, film it, do it, tell your story, tell these stories. I mean, of course, this is something that affects everyone around the world. So, but actually, there's an infinite amount of stories to tell around this subject.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, do your training, keep your training up, keep your accent training up, write your stuff and make it, because people are going to want to make sense of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the COVID stories are coming. They're already here.
Yeah, right.
There's already movies now. I think it's called The Lockdown right now. It's
Right.
on, where am I finding it? Amazon or HBO? It's on one of those, one of the
Yes.
streaming services. But it's about a couple during COVID, and, stuff gets shut down and they stage a heist. So COVID stories are coming. And there's going to be a lot of them because art is how we process, I think, collectively as the world
Hmm.
and through things. And this is why we all have, our jobs and do what we do in this industry, because we
Yeah.
like, processing those things and telling stories. But the time is now for you guys to really, like, if you've been a little lethargic, get hungry again. Figure out how. What's going to spark my appetite and make me hungry again? What kind of work would I love to do? Think about that. Don't rush to make a decision. Take a week. Ponder it. Be curious. Meditate on it. And then go, I'm going to go do it, and then go after that thing. But stay hungry. Get hungry. The time now is to go. You have to be in training all the time, right? I just saw Wendy. She posted this thing yesterday or maybe earlier today. This is how days go. They all blend together, as you all know. But yes, coaching and accent coaching and audition coaching and acting classes, those are all expensive. But there is nothing more expensive in this world than not booking for 18 months because you're not ready.
Yes.
That's the thing that's going to cost you the most, right? And then there's the regret of not having been ready.
Yeah. If you compare it to, an athlete doesn't just show up, at the Olympics and then just run the 100 meters. An athlete's training every day.
Really?
Every day.
Just fall out of the plane and ready to go?
I mean, they'd like to be, I'm sure. But yeah, they're just training, but also, just obviously being gentle with yourself. And if you you can write yourself a permission slip not to actually do something that day, but actually, which is obviously very important. But actually, as Chris said, you just got to kind of, keep at it, keep your accents up, keep doing your stuff, because actually when the time comes, the floodgates will open and you just got to get, wow, great, I'm here.
Yeah. And you want, when those floodgates open, you want to be the one in the whitewater raft riding that river.
Yes.
You don't want to be the one standing on the shore going, shit, where's my boat? Oh, I didn't build one. Oh, where's my raft? Oh, look at all that water go. Oh, no. You really don't want to be in that position. And because, my friends, lots of people in training, myself included, have developed ways for you to stay in training now. During COVID, when budgets are weird and things of that nature. So, you want to check out my accent skills workshop.
It's
all right, online, on demand, affordable. Dan's even taken it just to see what it was about, so he could recommend it to his actors. My office hours, put those things together. Union Management has the best, my friends, self-tape workshops. The best. You must take these, and you guys have them about every week, don't you? Once or twice a week?
We have them. Yeah, we have them once or twice a week. We have them tomorrow and Thursday, and then then next week is the retreat. So they're probably.
How do people get in on the self-tape workshops?
You can email us hello@unionmanagement.co.uk.
Okay.
The format is we send out 3 or 4 sets of sides. I think Chantel's taken a few actually.
Oh, really? Chantel. Let everyone know how they work.
Yeah. We send 3 or 4 sets of sides. You send them back via WeTransfer, and then we do this with it, and then we watch them in class. We go through them in class. You do the scene again live with the notes given. We give you a little bit of life stuff going on, because obviously life and art are exactly the same thing. Each class takes about 3.5 hours.
And what a phenomenal opportunity to bathe your instrument in technique.
And it's something like, it's so cheap. It's ridiculous. It's £8, 8 UK pounds, which is
so like $12.
$12. It's ridiculously cheap.
Okay, you guys, if you're not taking Union Management's, self-tape workshops, I don't know what you're doing in this business. When someone gives you an opportunity like this, what do? I'm going. Take me. My turn. Yeah. Right? So go, my friends, go. Dan wants to have too many people, so he has to add more sessions. This is a problem Dan would like to have. So make him have that problem.
Absolutely. But yeah, so we love doing we love putting it on. We love working with different actors from around the world. We have a lot of actors that have joined us from the US, from Israel, from France, from the UK. So it's not just our own partners, it's everyone. So
come, my friends.
Come all.
Yeah, so if you would like to, the email address is hello@unionmanagement.co.uk. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
hello@unionmanagement.co.uk. Now, your one-stop shop for everything acting training related. We get a little goofy here, I guess. Dan and I also haven't seen each other in a couple months, so this is like, and we used to see each other practically on a weekly
On a
basis.
weekly basis.
As I was either working with him or one of his actors or consulting or something like that, and it's just been, yeah, it's been too long, Dan. It's been
It has
too
been
long.
too long.
Yeah, you look haggard when I'm not in your life, and I can, it's wearing on you. I can tell.
I mean, it's 20 past 11 on a weeknight. That's got nothing to do with it, of course.
Nothing to do with it all. You routinely stay up till 4 a.m., don't you?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm going to steer us now. By the way, if you guys have any other questions, Sandra asked, could you give the email again? Yes, it is hello@unionmanagement.co.uk. If you go to unionmanagement.co.uk in the contact page, you'll find that email address there, all the information. So lots of different ways. If you still have any trouble, you can do a TMFA question and tag me in the post on TMFA, and I will help you find that page and all the goodness to be happening there. And Chantel has put the email right there in the comments. Thank you, Chantel.
Thanks, Chantel.
So I'm going to steer us now a little bit more in a different direction. But if you guys have any questions about the online actors retreat, about the self-tape workshops, about anything regarding union management and Dan and what it's like to work there, work with him, and if he's taking submissions and things of that nature, please do put those in the comments. Interrupt us anytime.
Yes.
Want to make sure that you guys get taken care of. So the direction that actually, you know what? We have a question. Speak and it shall appear in front of you. So the instant I ask for questions before moving on, we get a question. So Jen Slovey, I hope, or Jan Slovey. I'm going to say Jan because you're asking about European acting. So please do let me know if I've butchered your name. I apologize if I did. Spelling is no substitute for pronunciation guidance. Asks, do you have any tips for actors from Europe? Dan.
Yes, I do. Actors from Europe. It's a bit of a general question. So my tips from actors from Europe will be the same advice. Tips from actors from the US, actors from the UK, because obviously the UK, well, actually the UK isn't part of Europe, sadly, but that's another conversation. But I'm not going to go into politics tonight.
Dan, careful, Dan, careful.
Anyway, your headshots and your showreel are your two most important things to do with casting. Your headshots are your calling card, and they're the thing that are going to make casting directors open your profile, for example, in Spotlight or in the Actors Access in the US, from eTalanta in Europe as well. So your headshots are very important. Then it's your showreel. So actually, if your headshots are up to date and they show some really good archetypes from you, then actually that's probably one of the best things you can do. Obviously, I don't know I can't see your profile, so I can't comment on that. And then second to your headshots is your showreel. And your showreel should be no more than 2.5 minutes long max. Even if it's like 2 good scenes, that's totally fine. That's totally enough. It generally won't be watched for more than 40 seconds anyway. That's your kind of smash and grab time. Yeah.
So really the best advice is put your package together.
Yeah.
So you look like a pro who's ready to go. If you're watching this and you go, shit, what does that mean? How do I do this? What steps should I take? Once we're done with our Facebook Live here, I want you to go to the Hollywood Winners Circle and spend money on Wendy's course today. There is no excuse for you not to take the course that will literally, and I mean that, literally change the course of your career from floundering to succeeding. All right, if you haven't taken this class yet, I don't know what the hell you're doing on TMFA. I don't know what you're doing here if you haven't taken her course. It's the thing that's going to change your life in your acting career forever. I guarantee it. It's a Chris Lang guarantee. Boom, stamped, signed, notarized, send it off in the mail, copywritten, trademarked, the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're wondering what to do to put your package together, please take Wendy's course. Please, please, please. But I love, Dan, I love how you put this. I love it. The two most important things that you need to have are headshots, your calling card, the thing that
Hmm.
gets you noticed.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
second thing is going to be that show reel that shows that you can actually live up to expectations in this business based on how you look.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's face it. A lot of young actors go, "Well, I could play anything." Of course, you're an actor, but this is a visual medium that we work in primarily. Even I
Yes.
mean, hell, even voiceover is visual, and you have to make your voice look like that thing, right? It's all visual, so you've got to be fixated on what the heck do I look like? What does it look like I would be cast doing? Who out there is playing my roles currently? And you want headshots that typify all those things. Dan, you mentioned archetypes,
Hmm.
right? Well, another word that we use, that we thrown around. What's your branding?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
what
exactly.
what
What's your
roles are
brand?
you likely to be cast? How do you handle your branding? So like I have this big head, and it looks big on screen, so I get cast as bullies and bad guys. It's great because this is a bully's head. I'm a very kind-hearted person, but because of how I look, Irish bullies. That's what I get. It's great, right? But you have to know what that is so
Yeah.
that you can make your headshots exemplify that. So casting looks at it, and goes, "Oh shit, yeah, I can cast this
Hmm.
guy."
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. I get cast as kind of outsider types, weirdos, those kind of, you
What
know,
really typecast, Dan?
I've missed you, Chris. It's been 2 months.
Right? I missed you too, Dan. I'm sorry to interrupt. So you
No,
get
it's
cast
fine.
as a lot of weirdos and outsider types.
Yeah, exactly. Weirdos, outsider types, the kind of fringe of society types. And then I let my hair grow long, or longer than it was. And then I was thinking, oh, a slightly younger, well, a younger Bill Nighy type.
Ah,
I can do, yeah, I could do the Bill Nighy type, younger Bill
that's
Nighy.
very yeah. So like, but once you know that,
Yeah,
suddenly
it's that kind of
you have a
type.
direction to send your
Yes,
materials in,
yes,
the right kinds of projects, the right kinds of things, and then you start getting seen, right?
yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's a business of relationships, as you know. So all you have to do is get one casting director to champion you, and actually know what he or she is casting, know their work inside and out, and actually just, I always recommend to actors to send agents and send casting, especially casting, but also agents too, a thank you email. Just say, dear casting director, thank you so much for casting this thing. I loved it. I really loved it. I wish you all the best. You're not asking for anything.
Mm.
You're giving, and the kind of the rule of attraction is that actually you give because then when you give, the casting director or the agent gets this lovely email going, oh wow, that's lovely. But then you get something for yourself, which is a sense of goodness.
Oh yeah.
And that's how the world works. That's how the industry works. It's like the Matrix. You can see actually,
Mhm.
because then actually in 6 months' time, you send another email. You go, oh, you know what? This person would be really good for this.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it works.
Yeah. And it may seem like a stretch if you're just starting in the business. It may seem like a stretch, but
Right.
listen, be a human. Reach out to other humans. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
In genuine, kind ways. This world thrives off of abundance and kindness.
Yeah.
And if we have this abundance mentality, we're like, yeah, I'll just send it out in the world and genuinely congratulate people for work that you love and build those relationships, like real relationships.
Hmm.
Without expecting anything or schmoozing or glad handing anybody, boy, you're going to find yourself in the midst of a business and other people who care that you work or not,
Yeah. Yeah.
who want to make work
Absolutely.
with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this is it. Just be nice. Just be who you are, which is naturally nice, naturally kind.
I have.
It's so important.
I was given this little pin. Right, it's a little heart with a little banner on it, and I was given this by a wonderful dear friend many years ago. And I keep it on my desk as a reminder of this. You probably can't read it. If I get really close, you might be able to see what it says.
Oh,
But
I
it
can.
says, "Don't be a dick."
Right. Yeah.
It's just that it's that same reminder. Be kind. It costs you nothing to be kind in this business. Nothing. And it costs you everything when you're unkind.
It really does.
It's a really good mindset to have. So mine says don't be a dick, but I like the way Dan phrases it better. Just be kind.
Just be kind. I'm British. I'm British, therefore I don't swear.
Oh, really? Is that how it goes?
Fuck no.
I think the Guy Ritchie films would speak otherwise to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they fucking would. Do you know what I mean? Right.
Let's see here. Hey, we have another question here. So Dante Carroll, hey Dante, good to see you, Dante. Asks, so when a VA joins union, does that mean they can't do non-union work? Do you mean voice actor, Dante? Is that what you're? Is that what if you do mean voice actor, and if you are a voice actor and you join SAG, then yes, you are expressly enjoined and forbidden from doing other non-union work. You must only work union unless you have a specific dispensation from the union that will let you work non-union. For instance, if you go work at an educational, like a university of some sort, and they want you to do a show there as part of your residency or your teaching stint or whatever it is, then because it's educational, you can get permission to do that. I think you can also get permission for showcase theater and in LA there used to be the 99 seat waiver where you could go work 99 seat theater and there was a union waiver for that. That doesn't exist anymore because Equity, forgive me, shat the bed and got rid of it. That's how I feel. I thought it was a stupid idea, but in any case, yes, when you join the union, you got to work union. So it's an important thing that when you join the union, I'm ready to only work union.
Mm-hmm. So I heard that the best position to be in was SAG eligible, because then you can do both projects on both sides.
Yep. It really is. That SAG-E land. SAG-E-landia is what.
Nice.
It is a great place to be because you got non-union available to you. You can also book union work and but you get Taft-Hartley'd in and now you have now there's a clock. And you only have, what is it? What is that clock? I used to know. I think it was 6 months. It used to be a 6-month clock, but I don't know if it's a 6-month clock anymore. But you have a certain amount of time where you can work any other gig there on the same Taft-Hartley, and then the next union thing you book, boy, you get a join. So, yeah. So beat me and this is why our training is so important. And Dan, you know this because you have a whole stable of actors. It makes them sound like horses, doesn't it? You have a whole you have a bunch of partners at your agency, right? And everybody always has to be constantly training and ready to, if they need to, level up in the industry. It's time to go union, and we'll only do union stuff because we have enough demand and we can sustain that at that point, right?
I think that's the thing. That was one reason why I started up the self-tape workshops. That was one reason why I thought, it's not enough for me to have an agency where, we just submit people for jobs. For me, that's not interesting. It's about growth as an actor. It's about growth as a person, as a human, and actually going, well, you know what? This is where perhaps some actors fall down because they think that perhaps they're not enough, or they can't do something, or whatever it is, for because these beliefs that we grow up in. So we have a very very family type atmosphere in our agency. It's more like a manager, to be fair, more like a management firm than an agency, but hey,
well, it is called union
management. That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And also, to be fair, in the UK, there is a slight difference between agent manager than there is here in the US.
Yes.
Maybe I should define what that is really quickly, just so nobody's confused. Here in the US, you can have both, and often you do. You do have to have both. No, you don't. But a manager is somebody who manages your career. who says, I see potential in this person and I would like to develop them and help them gain representation and help them level up into the next levels of their career so that we can eventually reach the upper echelons. An agent at an agency is slightly different, and their job is to have a roster of actors to provide casting with options and have enough feelers out there and enough productions that enough of their actors get cast so that the agency makes money, everybody's happy, the actors make money, agents make money, and it's a way to have an intermediary to negotiate contracts and industry standards, things of that nature. Managers can also submit you in the same way agents do and can negotiate contracts, but this commissions tend to be different. If you have both an agent and a manager, just know that your manager is likely they're at 15% and an agent's 10 to 15 depending on the type of work. So whatever you get off of the gross, you're going to pay 30% in some cases to your team. So just know that's the case. But if you're running a business, this is no different than paying, who said this? Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side said this: every housewife knows the first check you write is for the mortgage and the second's for the insurance. So if you're paying for a mortgage and insurance, this is not bad checks to write. If you have a career and you're working constantly, they're really good checks to write. So again, but as you form your team, you want to make sure that your team is working really well together, well for you, well with you. So that's in here in the States. But in the UK, agents and managers slightly different, right, Dan?
They are, yeah, absolutely. The term manager, I mean, it's managers aren't a huge thing out here. I mean, they are popping up, but they're not as popular as they are in the US. And there are managers here, but maybe 10, 12 separate companies. Yeah.
And is that because the agents, like yourself, like you take a lot of that management thing on yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of agencies here in London, especially London, Manchester. The big cities are a lot of agencies, but especially in London. But they tend to hold on to their good actors. They tend to hold on to them. They tend to develop them. So they tend to, if they have a good relationship with them, then actors tend to stick to their agent. Rather than jump ship to another agent. And don't be one of those actors that just jump ship, because you do get a bad reputation quite quickly.
Just flitting from agent to agent to agent,
basically,
hoping that somebody will give you
your name goes around, and it's like him, right? Okay, yeah.
In a business that's all about relationships,
yes, yeah.
Don't be that guy. You don't want that relationship. You don't want that reputation for sure. Yeah, we don't need that. Let's see here. As you all know out in TMFA, I'm an accent coach, and so that's how I see the world. Everything's through accent coaching. Dan, with your roster of actors and partners, what do you expect of an actor so they can succeed in terms of having accents in their actor's toolbox?
If they say they can do an accent, then they have to be able to do that accent. Self-tapes come in very last minute, sometimes on the day. So if they're wanting an actor with an American accent or an Australian accent, whichever, and they say they can do it, then they'll do it. For our partners, they have to want to be able to, I think it's very, very useful to actually say, you know what, I can do a Southern accent, I could do a New York accent, I can do a French accent, for example, and just to have that in your toolbox, to kind of have that, because actually, if it's in your casting type, then of course it makes sense to actually do it. It makes sense on so many levels to actually kind of go, well, you know what, I'll work with Chris to actually, make my accent, make my dialect as good as it can be.
Yeah. One thing I'm fond of talking about a lot is how mastering accents and mastering a number of accents, including mastering accent, how to do accents, accent mastery itself, it is maybe, in my opinion, the best way to expand casting opportunities.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So from your position in the UK, talk a little bit about what are the casting opportunities accent-wise?
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of American stuff going around right now. Shooting in the UK. We There's a show called Sonia cast it, and she's casting a few of our partners for it. Oh, the Highways episode. Oh, the engineering that built America. So there's different series of this show that's going around, and it's all American,
Hmm.
obviously. So it's starting in America. So they're wanting a lot of actors there, but also shows like, as I mentioned earlier, Shadow and Bone, a lot of Eastern European accents. There's
Hmm.
the new Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, and House of the Dragon. I don't know how much you know about it, but it's accents from around the world.
Oh
So
yes,
it doesn't matter
yes.
what accent you have.
My friends, I have coached, boy, 3 dozen or more actors on auditions for that show
Wow.
in the last six
Yeah.
months, so
Yeah.
6 to 9 months. So if you have facility with accents from around the world, boy howdy, you're going to be attractive to casting all of a sudden
Yeah.
because they can
Totally.
fit you in there. And, whereas if you only sound like you're from Southern Ohio, guess where you can play? Southern Ohio. Those are the roles you get to play, right? Which is not bad, but this real specific Southern Ohio roles don't show up every day. You want to have
Mm.
that flexibility. Okay, let's see here. A couple questions we got. Dan, I'm going to let you answer this and then I'll take a stab at it because our perspectives probably will match up here a little bit. How do you know which kinds of accents fit your type apart from RP and General American? This is from Basque Victory. One of, by the way, the coolest names I've ever heard for an actor. Basque
It is,
Victory.
it's a great name.
Yeah,
Thanks,
right?
Beth. How do I know what accents fit your type
Apart from General American and RP.
apart from general RP? I'm gonna be quite annoying, and I'm gonna say I don't know if they fit your type. I'm gonna say, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say, because all of us can do all accents, regardless of what we think we can't do. We can do. We can make all of the sounds 100% of the time. It's just that, I mean, and obviously this is more Chris's area than my area, but it's we tend to be stuck in a particular type. We tend to be stuck in, American or RP, or for example Australian. But actually, we can be cast in many different things.
Yeah, and so I would say that your best bet is to learn how to be good broadly with accents. And then we look at you and say, okay, listen,
Mm,
this face is doing Irish, British, and Scottish accents.
yeah.
All right, you see this on screen outside of American accents that I'll do. Like this vase is doing Irish and Scottish and
Hmm.
British. That's just what this looks like. So, like, what is it that you look like? If you're ethnically ambiguous, we've got lots of breathing room there, right? Some people wonderfully are. And they can play everything from, Latino characters to Asians to, Central Asians to Middle Eastern and everything in between. So you have to look at what you look like. What
Hmm.
does it look like should be coming out of my mouth based on every stereotype known to man? And then we find the real life version of that that you can act through and be awesome at.
Yeah.
So, if you want to know this, Bass, come to me. We've had this discussion, and you have yet to schedule your 20-minute free consultation call via my website. So I'm looking at you, Basque. All right, come to my website. Let's talk about scheduling an accent fitting. All right, so that we can fit you with some accents. We can create a direction and a plan of action for this. So that's how you know. Is RP a good accent for everyone to have? Maybe. Is General American? Maybe. Versions of those accents are good for you to have. I just know that those accents are a giant spectrum and they blend and meld and change, and they're going to be different for every character because every story needs unique accent stuff to help tell it.
Yeah.
Couple other questions we have here. We've got. All right, let me find where we left off here. Dante. Oh, Dante Carroll. Yeah, Chris said some accents are easier uh, to learn than others for some people. Yeah, but every accent's either easy or difficult or somewhere in between. The thing that's going to manage whether it's like you're having the ability to get inside the accent and really learn it and master it is going to be all about your mastery of universal accent skills. That's it. Your ability to be good with accents generally. It's like saying, if you're a tennis player, is it easier to beat Rafael Nadal or Novak Djokovic or Roger Federer or Andy Murray? That depends on how good at tennis you are, right? So some of them you'll find easy, some of them you won't. Some of them, sometimes they'll all be the same level of difficulty. But you have to learn how to be good at accents generally, which means you have to master technique related to accents, which is my Universal Accent Skills Workshop, which, by the way, has open enrollment right now. Ah, how very exciting. You should also take advantage of my office hours, which are private sessions that go along with those. So we can meet every week in between your on-demand sessions. Make sure that you're on track, give you some feedback, keep you plugged in. Again, there's no excuse to not train. All right? Even if budgets are tight, let me know. I will help you. All right? It's more important that you train. All right? Never, ever think that it's going to be impossible for you, no matter what. All right, couple of other questions here. All right, Alexandra Echevarri says, this is awesome live. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That's because Dan, my lives are pretty, but Dan has leveled this up exponentially. She says, giving me hope. I'm good with accents, but because I'm Puerto Rican, people assume I can only speak with Latin accents. But I can do British accents, Irish, speak English and Spanish neutrally, and somewhat a Greek accent. Yeah. For this goes for everyone, but in particularly people of color. The industry is largely going to assume that because of what your face looks like, you should be able to sound certain ways automatically. I have a wonderful Black South African actress that I coach, and she came to me and goes, they sent me this audition because they just assumed because I'm Black I could do Nigerian accent, and there's really one specific accent of a Nigerian dialect. And and the industry just doesn't quite get that just because of how we look doesn't mean that these things come out of our face, but because it's expected, we're fighting against to change this because we want to change it. We want it to be more actual real like it is in real life. But until then, you just have to be ready. You have to do what you need to do to train yourself up to be ready to compete in these ways. So if you're Puerto Rican and everyone expects you to be able to do Latin accents, be the best at Latin accents for now. Like, learn every Latin accent you think you could be cast using and just be awesome at them, and then be awesome at other stuff too as we branch out of this. It's the best advice. Game the system while the system is dumb. All right? If it's a little bit stupid in these ways, game the system, and once the system changes, emerge better for it.
Absolutely.
That's my best advice.
And also, Chris, just to add on to what you just said then, and you know exactly all about this, but some people may not. What you taught me is find the version of you in that accent.
Yes.
And that was a game changer for me. And I'd recommend to anyone to work with Chris on his accent courses, simply because it's not that far a stretch. It's really not. It's just you, but just in that accent.
Yeah, it's just a slightly different version of you. Like, who's West Texas Dan? Who's, Dan was born and raised in West Texas. What would that be like? And we find that accent. If, for me, if I was born in, Dublin and grown up in Dublin, what would that be like? Because I'm still a human being. I still have that identity information. I know who I am. I just have to now relate it to a different place, a time, a culture, a way of thinking, and then a way of speaking. And like I said in last week's Facebook Live, as an actor, your job is to enact all of human behavior, including this behavior. Mm-hmm. So different accents are just different behavior that come from different places with different identities. And so we want to find where's your human nugget inside all of that? And that's where your art comes from. And that's what we want to nurture and cultivate and celebrate. And I get excited about that. Scott Cleverton says, "Love to hear your Scottish." Is that for me or Dan? Um,
You can hear my Scottish if you want it, actually.
I think it's pretty
It's not
likely.
bad, actually. I spent a long time in Glasgow, right? And
Oh,
it's
Glasgow.
it's a
I've
good
only been to
city.
Glasgow. I've only been to Edinburgh, actually.
Edinburgh's accent, yeah, it's a
And
bit
at
more
the Edinburgh
softer.
Castle, there's a stair that's called the Lang Stair.
Aye, definitely. Aye,
And so
it's
I took a picture of myself in front of that Lang Stair, thinking, that's my stair. My people built that stair. Could be from York originally, so maybe Scotland before that. All right, another question. Chantel, the ever present Chantel. Thank you for being here, Chantel. Rants asks, is it worthwhile to have some voice clips of accents if you don't have any footage to put on a reel yet? Definitely.
mhm,
Okay.
yeah.
Make sure that they're active acting clips, not just like narration or unless it's a commercial stuff. And then of course you want to have commercial kind of voiceover narration if it's audiobooks. But certainly like we don't just want to be able to, can you do an accent? The question is, can you act whilst doing an accent? That's the thing. So something in that voice clip that lets me know that, oh my God, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, we could put this person, or at least give them a shot at an audition. That's the thing. And then that self tape, that audition, that's when you have the ability to shine for acting with accents. So definitely have those together, but do not just put stuff out there. If you're going to make a voice clip with an accent, my best advice is make sure that you verify that accent with your dialect coach, your accent coach, to make sure that it's authentic, integrated, detailed, good to go. Especially if all that you had for experience in accents is like in drama school, where they said we spent 8 weeks on these 10 accents, and I, as an accent coach, I go, and you learned about them, but you didn't learn how to do them, right? Because there's no way for you to master 10 accents in 8 weeks, and it's just not possible. So accent intensive workshops, well, nice for networking and a lot of fun and those kinds of things. They're actually you can't learn to master an accent. If you already have an accent, they're good to practice for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, you need time to be able to master accents. Um, so after our wonderful Scottish
Right.
tangent, Scott says, "I've created monsters." Yes, yes, you have, Scott.
Yes.
Yes, and it's late where Dan is, so he gets a little punchy late at night, and
That's right. I get a bit feisty after 10. It's now
yeah,
5 to 12, yeah.
yeah, and we can't feed him because he's like a gremlin. So you don't feed a gremlin after midnight.
Oh
Uh,
no.
there's something about a microwave in there too. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
um,
I had all this popcorn when I was waiting for you. This bag of pop. I ate all of this. I'm a monster. Uh,
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. You're going to see the transformation. All right, and it won't be pretty, or it might be actually. Basque Victory comes back and asks, so is a voice clip better or a self tape on the accent so the agent can sell it easily? Always a self tape or something like demo reel. But again, if you're going to do an accent in a demo reel, get coached.
yes, that's right.
Don't throw that. You have to get coached, man. The number of accent clips that I've seen where somebody, yeah, I got these accents. Okay, send me over your demo clips. And I see these things. And I'm like, we can like it's not that it's bad, but we can do better. And you
Mm.
have to be at like an elite top shelf level to really be taken seriously in this business in a lot of places. Right? For casting, we want to draw their eye and go, oh wow, that's good. Yeah, let's give them an audition.
Mhm.
Because they're literally looking at it for maybe 10 or 20 seconds tops. Maybe.
Yep,
They've got
absolutely.
so many submissions to
100%.
go through, so you have to stand out. So always video, audio and a pitch.
An example of what you just said, Chris, is we had one of our partners recently taped for Whirlwind, which is the new Band of Brothers show. It's produced by Hanks. It's produced by Spielberg. It's exactly the same. They're just doing it now as they did, when is it, 20 years old, I think? 20 years old?
Yeah. It was early 2000s, I think, when that came
Early
out.
2000. And he has got a very, very good American clip on his show reel. And it's just him, 20 seconds as a self-tape speaking as American. And then so I sent the cast director this clip, and she was on the phone to me. She watched 9 seconds of this clip. She said, "Yeah, that's fine. Let's get him in," and they got him in.
9 seconds, my
That's
friends.
it.
That's how much time you have.
Yeah.
Right. And let's face it, I've worked in casting, and I don't have to watch 9 seconds to know.
Right.
No good casting associate or casting director has to watch more than the first 3-4 seconds to know whether they like it or not. Like their job is to make judgments right away. So we shouldn't give them any opportunities to not love us. Right, so everything has to be that good, sound that good, look that good, and just be that good. But my friends, you all have the capacity for greatness. You all have this capacity for greatness. We all have talent. Technique is what unleashes that talent. And if you're not working on your technique, whether it's acting, singing, movement, accent, audition, self-tape, all that technique, if you're not working on that technique, your talent will be forever trapped inside your ego.
This is true.
And that will be sad for us and for you and for the world. We don't want that. Like, I don't know about Dan, but I like helping actors. Dan, you like helping actors, right?
I love helping actors. I love actors.
Right. This is where we're here. So, guys, just do this. Keep training. Train. Cool question. Somebody say... Okay, we got some cool questions here. Let's see if I have this here. Scott Cleverton is speaking other languages in the chat, which is wonderful, and is translating a little bit. Scott says, this is interesting. If English isn't your second language, for the love of God, get a stress guide. It's where the meaning lives in English. So, and then Dante asks, stress guide, what is this? So essentially what a stress guide can tell you is some broader ways that we add emphasis to words, right? And place that in our sentences. I had a wonderful 2-hour audition prep session with a Cantonese actress this afternoon on this very thing. So that, for instance, when we say, she mentioned in the scene she was auditioning with, the film Dirty Dancing. Mm-hmm. All right, and for us as native English speakers, we get da-da-da-da. Nice stress that way. It's just, kind of built into us when we learn English that way. But it could be dirty dancing. Mm-hmm. Dirty dancing. Dirty dancing. And that stress can change. And so, rhythmic patterns, syllabic stress, these things are built into accents, so you have to learn how to play with them, my friends. So come train with me, I'll teach you how to do that. And then if you're working in English and English is not your first language, come train with me, because I will teach you how to master this. You will sound like a native once you learn how to do this. Yeah, that's a stress guide, I believe.
I started working with Chris in 2019, autumn 2019, and literally within a few months, I had all this down. So good. Really recommend anyone who hasn't worked with Chris to work with Chris. I'm not just saying that, but I mean it genuinely.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. That's very kind. That's very kind. I remember a time where you came to me and said, I don't know if I can do these accents. I don't know. These accents, this accent stuff seems beyond me.
But what did you say to me? You're like, no, you can't.
I was like, you're right, Dan.
You're right.
You can't do accents. I'm sorry. Just go hang yourself. I apologize. I believe I said a version of course you can.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. And then I texted you this afternoon and I said I did a session with the casting director in LA playing Southern, as in Texas Southern. And she was like, I thought you were Texan, not British.
So it turns out, my friends, these skills can be learned.
This stuff works.
You remember when there was a time where you looked at like a giant monologue, you said, how the hell will I memorize that? And now, later on, you're like, I got this. I can have this in an hour or two. Right? You learn how to do these things. So, my friends, that's an hour we've been on. I promised Dan I wouldn't keep him up too late. So, just as a reminder, the online actors retreat starts next Wednesday?
23rd. Is that what
is that? What day is it today?
Looking at our diaries now.
Next Tuesday.
That's Tuesday. We kick off with Kim Jackson. No, I can't remember the schedule now. It's all online, but it's It's
It's
going to
late,
be
guys.
great.
Give him a break.
It's late. It's fine. It's all online. Have a look online because we have some awesome, awesome guests,
Including this guy. I'll be there.
including
So
Chris.
if you
You'll
want to
be
hear me
there.
talk about acting with accents, because I think my session is going to be all about acting and accent technique melding together, an extension of what I talked about last time. If you're interested in that, please stop by.
Please
Get
do.
involved in the whole thing. You will not regret all the access to casting directors and discussions, and it's going to be phenomenal and outstanding. I think you guys will really love it. So to sign up for the self-tape workshops at Union Management, please do them, guys. £8, like $12. That's nothing. Do this. Do this today. If you haven't, I don't know what you're waiting for, but that's ridiculous. Like, go train here. So sign up for that. hello@unionmanagement.co.uk is where you find out about that. But that website is up in the comments as well, as is mine. Eliza Simpson has popped in and says hello. Hi, Eliza.
Hi, Liza.
Human beings, one of my fellow accent coach partners in crime. She's amazing, and says hello. So thank you for that, Eliza. In the meantime, if you guys have any accent questions, if you guys have any questions for Dan, Dan's always available. He's on Twitter at, what is it? What's your Twitter handle?
At
I'll just look it up.
Union_MGMT. Sorry, Twitter's like Twitter.
Yeah, it is
Instagram.
at Union_MGMT. All
Yes,
right.
that's the one.
So find Union Management on Twitter. And you guys can find me on Twitter at Dialect Coach CL. But I'm also here on TMFA where you are. So please, if any questions, hashtag TMFA questions, hashtag accents, and tag me in the post. I'll be happy to answer your questions. I love seeing accent monologues on Monologue Monday. Better tag me in them if you do them. I want to help out and give some coaching. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you all today. I believe that's all Dan has, right? Do you have anything else?
I think that's all I have. Yes, I'm gonna. I have flossed and brushed my teeth, so I might just.
All right. Well, Dan, listen. Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest, and not in the Hamlet style where you die, but in the one where you fall peacefully to sleep, like Sleeping Beauty, to be woken in the morning by true love's first kiss. So let's hope that happens.
You've got everything in this last time. You've got Shakespeare to end the call. This has been the best TMFA call. We've had Shakespeare. We've had Scots accents.
Yeah.
We've had everything.
We've set the bar, frankly, too high for ourselves. Yes. The next one, who knows what we're going to do. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time, Dan.
Thanks so much, Chris.
I really appreciate it. I know all the actors here appreciate it. And stay safe there in the UK in your third lockdown. Tell all your partners and your fellow agents to do the same, and that we love them, and that we'll see you out and about on the Facebooks and the internet. And my friends, I will see you all next Tuesday for another one of these crazy, wacky adventures in Accentlandia. Until we meet again, my friends, thanks again, Dan. We'll see you later.
Bye.